Good morning. The Educator Effectiveness Committee will come to order. Before we have the roll call, I want to just make a comment. I'm sorry I have a terrible cold, so you'll just have to bear with me, but we'll make it. Also, I want to express appreciation. I'm not sure what this is all about, but 9 o'clock on Monday morning, the first day, with 10 board members present. You know, we struggle sometimes to get 3 or 4 to start a committee. So, John, I'll give you full credit. But
Mr. Chairman, Miss Orange Jones did give me a call. She'll be here within a half hour. She's driving in from Houston this morning.
Okay, very good. Roll call, please.
Miss Beebe.
Present.
Miss Beebe is present. Mr. Bennett.
Here.
Mr. Bennett is present. Miss Bofi.
Here.
Miss Bofi is present. Miss Bradford.
Here.
Miss Bradford is present. Miss Destug.
Here.
Miss Destug is present. Mr. Garvey.
Here.
Mr. Garvey is present. Mr. Guillo.
Here.
Mr. Guillo is present. Miss Hill.
Present.
Miss Hill is present. Mr. Lee.
Present.
Mr. Lee is present. Miss Orange Jones is not here yet. Mr. Romer.
Here.
Mr. Romer is present. You do have a quorum.
Very good. First item, please.
Your consent agenda is ready for approval. We can get a motion for that.
Chair would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is item 3.1. That's page 4 in your packet. Consideration of approval of teacher education programs at the New Teacher Project Academy. Department recommendation is to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation of the department for approval of teacher education programs at the New Teacher Project Academy. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Hey, this committee's doing all right now. This is what we expect. Next item.
Good leadership.
Next item is item 3.2 on page 6. Consideration of accreditation and provisional state approval of the teacher education unit at Southern University Agriculture and Mechanical College in Baton Rouge. Department recommendation is to approve.
Let me make a comment and then we'll entertain a motion. As I appreciate it, there are some questions and some concerns, and this really amounts to contingent approval. Is that accurate?
It's to approve with provisions.
Okay.
Approve
The recommendation is approved, but there are some conditions that will need to be met. The chair would entertain a motion.
With
Okay.
provisions?
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
did you make the motion?
Yes.
Okay, and second by Mr. Bennett. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is item 3.3 on page 11. Consideration of accreditation and state approval of the teacher education unit at Louisiana State University at Shreveport. Department recommendation is to approve. So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is item 4.1 on page 16. Consideration of revisions to Bulletin 746, Louisiana Standards for State Certification of School Personnel, Section 405, Ancillary Counselor K through 12, and Section 659, Counselor K through 12 add-on endorsement. Department recommendation is to approve as a notice of intent.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve as notice of intent.
Is there a second? And a second. I want to mention that Ms. Glennie Lee Bouquet, who co-chairs the Blue Ribbon Commission, is present. And I think maybe Gene Burns, Dr. Burns is present. They both have been the anchors for the Blue Ribbon Commission for a number of years. As I think that's one of the most productive commissions that we have. And more recently, the commission's been looking at considering counselors and how to strengthen, improve, and supply better services for students. And did either one of you ladies like to make any comments? Now's your chance.
Give me a chance to talk.
Just come to the seat, please.
Good morning, board members. Yes, the Blue Ribbon Commission takes a different topic every year, and at the end of the year, we recommend to BESE and to the Board of Regents action items that will then go to their various departments. So BESE has approved the recommendations, and this is a reflection of the action items that we hope and feel sure will strengthen the work of the counselors in our schools. And Jean, of course, is with the Board of Regents. I caught his cold. and knows a lot more than any of us. So if you have any questions, though, we would be most happy to answer either about the Blue Ribbon Commission or about these particular actions.
And I want to just add that for this particular recommendation, it will strengthen every school counselor program at all of the universities within our state that are currently offering school counselor programs. They will be required to have national accreditation, and we have worked with the College of Education deans. They're in support. They provided input into this particular certification structure and the recommendations, and this is going to be a win-win for the schools plus for the teacher and the school counselor teacher preparation programs within our state.
To get more direct, just know that we have certain goals that we are trying to reach. And when I say we mean BESE and the Department of Education in the career and college area. And of course, one of the weaknesses that we have found is that counselors don't have time or training to help us get to our goal. So we feel that this is another one of those stool legs that we are putting into effect to raise all students' scores and to help them in their career and college choices.
As a member of the commission, I completely support the recommendation, the effort, and appreciate what you ladies are doing as well as the other members of the commission. But for our discussion purposes, I want to just make a comment or two. I think that this is a movement nationwide. It's not just Louisiana. We know that more counseling services are needed. Counselors, first of all, we don't have enough counselors, school counselors. Secondly, they are doing many other duties other than just working with students and counseling. So the need's great. I think we are moving in the right direction. Some impact I see it's going to have at the local school system level that might not be the best for a while. It's going to affect ancillary certification, and I'd like for you to comment on that. But what it appears to me, as we try to increase the number of counselors and define their duties better than what they have been in the past, ancillary certification has been used fairly well, and as I see it, this is probably going to either reduce or eliminate ancillary certification for the future. Is that accurate, or am I off base with that?
I'm going to have Barbara Burke come up and talk specifically about the ancillary certification. We do not anticipate that this is going to decrease the number of counselors within the state
Okay.
because we have a phase-in time period.
Okay.
And the way that this structure has been set up is that we will continue to have a sufficient number of counselors. They're simply going to be stronger as a
Good.
result of them addressing standards that have been set by the state and then also addressing national standards.
And before she comments, I do want to say, all along with the Blue Ribbon Commission, it's been a joint effort, co-chaired by Ms. Bouquet, representing elementary, secondary education, and the Board of Regents, and it's probably brought about the best cooperation and partnership that we've ever had, and it continues that way. And Dr. Burns works for the Board of Regents, but I think we get more services from her than they do, and we're pleased with that. But that partnership is critically important.
Work with the Department of Education, the Division of Certification, Preparation, and Recruitment. And I would like to be clear that the department does not feel that this new counselor policy for ancillary certification as a school counselor will reduce the number of counselors in any way. And let me make it also clear that the ancillary counselor policy is designed for individuals that do not hold a standard Louisiana teaching certificate but wish to meet counselor certification guidelines per Bulletin 746 so that they can serve as a K through 12 school counselor. And these individuals, like I said, they don't hold a teaching certificate, but they are required to complete the exact same National Counselor Master's Degree program that a teacher would be required to meet. So all of the guidelines that a teacher would have to meet to become a school counselor, to meet that add-on counseling endorsement, these ancillary individuals are held to that very same standard.
But do you perceive that we will continue to have counselors certified as ancillary in the future?
Yes, sir, because any individual that holds a degree, it's a non-education degree, but those individuals would then enter into a university that has a nationally accredited school counseling program, and then they would complete that program, complete the internship as a teacher would do, pass the counseling praxis exam as a teacher would do. So again, we do not feel that in any way it will reduce the number of certified ancillary counselors or the number of certified teachers that choose to add on the counseling endorsement.
I'm pleased to know that, because I think they have been, are, and will serve a valuable role with the counseling duties.
Absolutely. And one last point is that the ancillary certification is simply another option that, in a sense, really allows us to increase the number of school counselors that we have serving in our schools.
Mr. Chairman?
The floor is open for comments.
Are you ready for me?
Ms. Dasty.
Okay. First of all, I would like to again acknowledge Ms. Bouquet's leadership in Blue Ribbon. She has represented this board and served the children admirably for many years on this, and Blue Ribbon enjoys the reputation of being one of our most effective commissions that exist, and that the wisdom of the board, the previous board, to ask her to continue to serve into 2012 as co-chair, I think is evident of that. I'm also a member of the Blue Ribbon Commission, and the work that has been done this year around counseling has been terrific. And I wanted board members to be aware that you're looking at some changes in higher ed that came out of the recommendations, but in fact there were also a set of recommendations for K-12 that we did adopt toward the end of 2011. And if any board member would like to see what we did coming out of Blue Ribbon with this board action that we took to improve our school counseling in K-12, I'm sure you just ask Catherine Posniak and she can provide that to you. Thanks a lot.
Others? Yeah.
I just wanted to add my congratulations to both of you all, and to also thank Ms. Burns and the Board of Regents for working so closely on this with us, because I think it's when we have these joint efforts that we make real progress for our state. And it has been a new thing to have such good dialogue, and so we appreciate that participation.
Any other board members? Ms. Beebe?
Thank you, Mr. Lee, and certainly I want to thank you for having discussion on this item. And also, I support increased standards, and as a personnel director, I'm glad that we had the clarification, because I was a little bit concerned about the ancillary. It was my understanding that maybe we were trying to move away from the ancillary licensures, so this is certainly good news for me. Now, could you just, the major distinction, because we do have ancillary licensures at this point, it's just to strengthen the requirements for counseling?
Yes, ma'am, exactly. The major difference is that the current ancillary counselor policy requires a master's degree in anything. The new ancillary counselor certification policy requires a master's degree in school counseling. That's a nationally accredited school counseling master's degree. You're welcome.
Any others that want to make comments? Is there any objection to the motion on the floor? If not, motion carries. Thanks for coming, and thanks for the work that you do.
Thank you, and I'm sure there'll be other things that will come before you, because we'll keep working on these recommendations.
Does that complete the business of the
Completes
committee?
the agenda.
Okay. Next committee is academic goals and instructional improvement. Is that? No, there's one before that.
9:30.
School innovation and turnaround.
Yeah, we'll start at 9:30.
I want you to notice this committee took 20 minutes.
I didn't hear what you said.